Here's the hook. Helizas tells you nothing, hands you a sword that eats feelings, and then asks whether you can navigate a civil war with a compass and your wits. No map, no quest log, no breadcrumb trail. You either vibe with that or bounce off a wall of where was that locked door again. The gamble is big, the world is grimly gorgeous, and the combat is where the debate starts. Context without spoilers. You're Remy, an exile sneaking back into Hadea to find family and answers. The country's mid-collapse, propaganda on the walls, camps abandoned, mass graves in the brush. And your only true enemies are hollow walkers, uncanny mannequins whose emotions manifest as tethered haze creatures. Slice the haze, sever the umbilical, then the body can die. It's a striking loop. Human cruelty births monsters, and you literally cut the cord. Bold take. Helizas is a mood and a method. The mood, oppressive, specific, and unflinchingly political, lands hard. The method, player-driven puzzle solving with zero UI hand-holding, mostly sings, then occasionally eats its own tail. When the design trusts you, it's intoxicating. When it forgets the difference between mystery and obscurity, it's a notebook sim. Exploration is the star. The game's best moments happen in the margins. A rusting safe tossed behind a library, its code unknowable until you later piece together a child's ID from a family displaced miles away. A museum that feels ripped from control. A lakeside sanctuary so peaceful it hurts. The absence of a minimap forces you to read the world, street names, graffiti, skyline silhouettes, and the level art rewards that attention with distinct landmarks. That's the player plattering pitch. You carry the tray. But here's where the sources split. One camp says the commitment is real, no map, no pop-ups, take notes or get lost. Another says the facade cracks, occasional good deed prompts and item pop-ups tip the hand and undercut immersion. A third camp lands in the middle. Act 1 can be a slog until you learn the language. Then NPCs and your own acclamation do the heavy lifting. Whose truth is the truth? Likely all of them. Your experience depends on how you sequence missions and how allergic you are to self-tracking. Combat time. On paper, it's a modern action blend. Light heavy strings, charged hits, parries, dodges, plus a drone and weapon glyphs tied to 4 emotions: rage, ecstasy, terror, grief. Deal clean damage and cash in to heal, which encourages aggression. It feels good in the hands, responsive, readable, and later enemies can chain stagger you if you get cocky. The problem is the ceiling. Enemy variety tops out around 5 core hollow types plus a dozen haze variants. Bosses are scarce and weapons of the same tier feel too similar even with different emotional augments. On default settings, once you master the heal cache, it leans button mashy. Yes, there are sliders and a death penalty option that wipes gains and respawns zones. Crank them and the system tightens up. But the base curve favors tourists over tyrants. Design quirk worth flagging. The world loves to hide progress behind conversations. Gateways unlock because you chatted with guy near a gate 3 hours earlier. With no log, you either keep meticulous notes, revisit hubs frequently, or suffer the random guy in random place tags. It's thematically consistent, war zones are chaotic, but some friction feels artificial. Remy has a fancy datapad and a drone. The absence of even a rudimentary pins feature breaks character more than a minimal diegetic journal would. So why does it still work? Because the atmosphere murders. Hadea isn't dressed with tragedy, it's built from it. The environmental storytelling is surgical. A dog's body outside a kid's hideout says more than a cutscene ever could. Conversations with survivors are plain spoken and pointed. No lore filigree, just people blaming, grieving, rationalizing. The time loop pockets are potent too. You're literally clearing knots of atrocity so the world can breathe again. That clarity of theme is rare. The game holds up a mirror and refuses to blink. There's friction about scope and traversal. Some players wanted Elden Ring freedom, jump, climb, swim in a world this large. Helizas is stricter. No jump, no swim, traversal is legwork. Areas can feel narrow and after a few hours memorized. That cuts both ways. It keeps navigation mental mapeable, but can diminish the lost in the fog, feeling the design thesis chords. The ending also draws mixed reactions. The world's political wounds are the star, but the finale leans harder into the mysterious big bad than some hoped. The artifacts that haunt you, though, are the human ones. Quick practical loadout from veteran game. Start on normal if you're here for story and puzzles. Bump enemy aggression and flip on the death penalty if loot feels meaningless. Combat wakes up. If you're action forward, jump to a higher difficulty immediately. Invest in stagger plus a sustain kit. The heal cash rewards controlled violence, play around that. Keep a notes, doc or phone album for door codes, locked chests and named NPCs. Yes, for real. When in doubt, revisit earlier hubs after major story beats. Gates open because people talk. Here's the veteran game verdict. Hadea is a thorny, worthwhile trek. As exploration push and puzzle theater, it's outstanding. Rarely do big-budget action games demand this much attention without patronizing you. As a combat game, it's competent, sometimes fun, rarely transcendent. If you need a best-in-class action system, you'll chafe. If you can stomach some UX stubbornness for the sake of immersion, you'll get a story world that lingers in your head long after the last hollow dissolves. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or fuming, toss a like, so this take survives the algorithm, and we keep making long-form autopsies that actually say something. Final spark for the comments. Is the no map, no log doctrine brave design that fits the theme? Or a roleplay break where Remy mysteriously forgets to write things down? And bonus heat, does the heal by hurting loop reinforce the game's message or undermine it by letting aggression erase consequences?